Today we're going to be exploring what just may be the biggest hobby shop in all of Japan. Welcome to the Surugaya Flagship Store, Shizuoka. This store was insanely huge. They had 4 floors of everything from toys and video games to music, movies, and yes, model kits. Lots and lots of model kits. I tried to do some research and find out if this was indeed the biggest model store in Japan, but I couldn't find anything definitive. What I can say though is it's by far the biggest one I've seen, and it outclasses anything in Akihabara in Tokyo by a huge margin. So what do you say we get right into it and explore the Surugaya Flagship Store? Alright, so first things first, getting to Shizuoka. Shizuoka is a really cool city. They hold the annual Shizuoka Hobby Show there. I did 2 videos covering that. If you want to check them out, you can click the links here. And it is about an hour and 10 minutes on the Shinkansen, and that takes you right to Shizuoka Station, and is a really nice train ride. On a clear day, you can see Mount Fuji and some other mountain ranges outside of the windows of the train. And from Shizuoka Station, it is pretty straightforward to get to the Surugaya Flagship Store. It's just about a 10-15 minute walk, and you'll be right there. Alright, so let's get into it. Here we are at the back entrance of the store. The store has entrances on both sides of the street that it's on, so this is the back entrance and you can walk straight through to the next block over. On the first floor, there are a lot of anime figures, and they have this really cool Hulkbuster statue. You can see all the different figures, Nendroids, Figma, pretty much everything. And here you're going to see the floor guide, and we are looking to go here to the second floor plastic model section. So you just go up the escalator, and one of the first things I saw that caught my eye were these little wooden house structure or just architectural structure dioramas by Woody Joe. I also talked about these a little bit in my Shizuoka Hobby Show video because I just think they are so cool and interesting. They've got some ships down there as well. And next up we have tools and supplies. They had a tremendous selection of tools and supplies. It was really, really impressive. I had previously been blown away by stores like Yellow Submarine and the Volk store, but this definitely gives those two a run for their money. Absolutely amazing selection. Moving on here, we've got paints. Also incredibly impressive. They had so many brands and colors of paint. It was kind of mind-boggling. Previously, I talked about it in that Yellow Submarine video where that was the best selection I had seen. But, you know, this is not in Tokyo. They've got more space out here, but they have so many colors. It might not look like as much because it's spread out, but trust me, crazy amount of colors. Here you've got some diorama supplies, different, grass textures and things like that. And then jumping right into the model kits, starting out with a really nice selection of Ma.K Kits, probably one of the more robust sections I've seen at a single store. And here we have resin and garage kits. I absolutely love resin and garage kits because they are so unique, and often the sculpts are a little bit strange or different or slightly customized. I just find them very fascinating, and they had a really nice little selection here behind this glass case, including some rarities that were very, very expensive. Here we have some miscellaneous mecha models, and I wish I could have showed this whole area, but it was very, very crowded. But I'll turn around here and you'll see the back corner, and you'll see just how many models they had here. And this is not including Gunpla, right? This is all the non-Gunpla stuff. And a lot of stores will carry this, but not usually such an extensive selection. This was really impressive. And behind me, there were 2 more shelves or 3 more shelves that I could not show because there were a bunch of people that were just really going through like every box in that area. Some Evangelion stuff here. And the Evangelion test type of Velociraptor. I think that one is so fun. And some old school Macross kits. And then I'm not super informed or into it, but I did want to cover it because I know that a lot of folks who are into hobby stuff, at least in those Japanese hobby magazines that I collect, they always have these like airsoft and military surplus sections, and they did have a small section of that at this store as well on the second floor. Here we have some high-grade Gunpla, as well as some different supplies down there, some Gundam markers. And here's one that I had not seen before. The Delta Plus with a special box art, I believe. Some more high grades. And again, there was a lot of stuff I'd never seen before, like this long rifle. Interesting packaging on that one. And here we have a ton of master grades. They had just so many master grades and high grades. I feel bad because there's a ton of stuff I didn't film, and I think it kind of doesn't do this store justice, but you guys just have to trust me. There was so much stuff. My phone battery was a little low, so I was being selective with what I was recording, but the selection was crazy. Here you've got the Turn A Master Grade, Galgoog, Zeta Gundam. This is the limited edition color scheme. Cool little color scheme on that one. And the original Master Grade New Gundam. This is one I definitely want to add to my collection at some point, but I didn't pick it up because it was so big. I think that's something I'm probably just going to have to bite the bullet and order directly to my place. They also had the original Sentinel and full armor double Zeta Gundam. And something about those like original versions of those kits I just think are so unique and interesting. They may not be as high tech as the newer versions, but I think they are just so cool. And these were a surprise to see. These Xeon like military style containers. Very, very cool. And again, the new Gundam, just wanted to highlight the price there, that $12,000. And they also had the OG Master Grade Sazabi sitting right there with it. I do have this, and it's one of my favorite model kits I've ever built. Really impressive, and not a bad price on that. 8,000 yen. That's maybe like $50. Really a steal. Here they've got some vintage 160 scale kits. Some of these are hard to find, like this 160 scale old school Zeta. That's not super common. Really cool. Love those hand-painted box arts on those. You can see here what that kit looks like when it's painted up. And here you've got the Galgoog Cannon 160 scale. Really affordable for that one, like maybe $25, $30-ish. Not a bad price. I know these ones are really popular these days for people to kind of modify and detail up and make look more modern. The Strict G Gunpla hanger. You don't see too much Strict G stuff. And the mega size model of the RX-78. And this is probably one of the coolest box arts I've ever seen for the full action New Gundam. An incredible painting on that. And a really nice looking model kit too. Comes with lots of different accessories. You can see here all the funnels. And the Lavian Rose and the Hildolfer, I always talk about those because I want both of them. And the injection machine, this is a fun one that is always floating around there. A fun little novelty model kit of the injection machines they used to make Gunpla. And here is a cool little kit. This is actually an Advance of Zeta FG Furoku grade, if you notice that there. I think I'm going to do a future video about some of these stranger, less common grades because I think they're so neat and interesting. That old school camphor, I absolutely adore that box art on this one. It's got some strange proportions, but I am kind of fond of this one. It might be one I'd like to pick up in the future. Another Advance of Zeta kit here from Hobby Japan. And the old F90 kits. These are really cool. I'd like to pick up one of those at some point. They usually come with tons of accessories, which is really nice. The Garibaldi Beta. I believe this is the only way to get this kit in 1/100 scale, and I just love that box art. This is one I thought about picking up and kind of modifying it to be a faux master grade. The Zeta Plus C1. This is another kit from Gundam Sentinel, that first original series that actually looks really, really nice. Just snap built, you can see there. compared to other kits of the era, this one, it looks a lot more modern and quite nice. And here you can see this crazy selection of vintage kits, combination of, no grades, maybe some really early high grades, some ons and ends in there too, like this Ale Strike plus Sky Grasper, perfect grade. And the large scale no grade Wing Gundam. I absolutely adore that kit. It looks so cool. And the Azamu, which I always think looks like an onion. Old school 1/550 scale kit. Kind of cool looking. I think it would be something really fun to detail up and modify. Some of those old 1/550 scales are actually quite nice and easy to build. Here's an interesting one that I had not seen before. The DX series. Again, I would love to cover all these odd, different grades of kits in the future. Here are some P Bandai additional funnels for the Verka Master Grade New Gundam. And also some P Bandai expansions for the Victory 2. Very cool. I always loved those wings. And a box set, I haven't seen this before, of just different core fighters, I guess. Here you can see more master grades, P Bandai master grades. Tons of them. And here they have a bunch of 1/100 high grades. This is kind of a variety section. There's different stuff in here. They kind of have it categorized by G Gundam, Gundam X, and Gundam Wing. But there's some different odds and ends just kind of mixed in randomly. You can see our bunch of Gundam X kits, including that G Falcon unit, Airmaster, and some Leopards. And then some different P Bandai high grades from those series. I think I can safely say that this is the best selection of Wing, G Gundam, and Gundam X kits that I've seen anywhere in Japan. They had a ton. And then last but not least, they had this perfect grade GPO1 FB. They had a bunch of other perfect grades, but I did not film them because, like I said, my battery was unfortunately running low, so I apologize, you guys, but they had a bunch of perfect grades. And here they had some painted military dioramas. This one was super impressive to me. Loved the foliage and that texture on that bridge. And I love seeing the water here. Again, I'm not super big into the military models, but I absolutely love looking at them for the technique. A lot of those military modelers are just masters of the diorama and landscapes. And here we have a crazy huge selection of model books and magazines. It was basically a small library. This is the most impressive selection of books that I have seen anywhere in Japan. And I am a huge fan and collector of old model graphics and Hobby Japan, so I was basically in heaven here looking through pretty much complete sets of model graphics and Hobby Japan from the 80s to current on some of the magazine series, or some of them to where they stopped printing physical volumes. But just awesome stuff, and they're so affordable, like 300 yen. You cannot go wrong. I highly recommend these as a tool for all modelers to find inspiration and information about all kinds of techniques, and you do not need to know how to read Japanese to get a benefit from checking them out. So go check some out. Here they had a cute little race track for all of the RC models. They had a huge car and RC section as well. I did not capture footage for. And they had these huge train dioramas that were very cool. And it looked like what you could do with these is pay a fee, and you could bring your own model trains and run your own model train system on their tracks. I saw a couple of younger kids doing that, and it looked pretty interesting. There's controls, so I think quite a few people can have different trains on them at the same time. And as you can see, this is just gigantic. Like, stores in Tokyo just don't have the physical real estate to have setups like this. And if they did, certainly not two of them. Here they had a bunch of Zoids. I know folks in the comments are always asking me about Zoids kits, and there are a lot of them in Japan, and they had a good selection here, as well as some Metabots, which I would love to build a Metabots kit, but this one was a bit pricey for me, so I'll have to wait and see if I can find a better deal in the future for one of those. And yeah, guys, that's about going to do it for the model kit and hobby section of the Surugaya Flagship Store. But I'm going to be back in a second video to go over the video game section of the store, where I picked up a ton of stuff, and the video game section was also just as mind-blowing. The biggest retro gaming section I've seen at anywhere in Japan. It was crazy, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider becoming a channel member, where I post additional behind the scenes videos and exclusive videos for channel members only. And you can find the link to join on the front of my YouTube page right here. And it's basically like Patreon for the channel, but it's all inside the YouTube ecosystem, so you don't need to go sign up for another site or anything like that. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to come join us on Discord and hang out there. We have a Discord that is totally free to join, and we talk about model kits, retro gaming, anime, all kinds of fun stuff. And it's a really great welcoming community, and we would love to have you there. So there's a link to that on the front of my YouTube page as well. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. I love making these videos for you guys and chatting with you in the comments, so definitely feel free to comment and ask about, you know, any questions you might have. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!